Now in this lecture, we will be discussing about handling the events. This is really very important because we are dealing with the dispatch and we will also be looking at the reducer. So here the product, cart and total data is now available to the respective component. When the dropdown is selected, we have to update the cart and the total. So let's begin with the coding. So now I'm going to switch to the purchase component where I'll say on change, I want to create an event. For example, I'm going to say the event name, the purchase handler, and that's going to be a function where I will simply display a console message that event handled. We have already seen event handling though, but I would just like to emphasize on the step-by-step process. And let's go and check the output. Open the developer tool, and on change of every item, we see that the event is getting executed. But this is not the only thing. What we want here is that we need to refer the value. And here we have to take the event object, the synthetic event that is. Because we are going to pass a parameter that is the event object, I'm going to use the arrow function. This we have already discussed in prior sections why we need the arrow function when we pass the parameter. And this particular E, that is the event object, will be able to refer it here. Now I'm going to create two variables. The first is the product name where I'm going to refer the text of the product and the value, that is the price. And I'm assigning both the pname and price to the obj, that is the object. And let's display the value of obj just to get the idea how it is being generated. So let's switch to the output. I'll just refresh and click on the item. So you see that pname and price, we have it here. Now this very same thing we want to add to the cart. But we won't be writing the adding to the cart process here in the purchase component. That we will be writing in the store, that is the global place. So we have to pass this obj to the store. First of all, we will have to use the dispatch method. And when I say dispatch, that means we have to take first of all the dispatch object. So the first thing I need is I need to import the dispatch hook. And then I will create the dispatch object. So I'll say const dispatch is equal to useDispatch. And inside the dispatch, you have to pass an object literal. Now here I'll just say type. This is a fixed value expected by the dispatch object. Here I'm just saying that this is the purchase action. And the second parameter is payload, which I mentioned in a couple of sessions back. So payload, I'm going to say the payload itself, I can name this as value, I can name it data, whatever I want to, but type has to be type only. So here I just say payload, that is the information I want to pass is the object. Now this certainly is going to call the reducer function, and inside the reducer, we have two parameters. One is the state and second is action. So this object is passed to action here in the store. So this is the reducer function, and this action will receive this data, the purchase and the payload. Let's just put a console log here. I'll say console log, and I'll try to display what is inside the action object. Not only that, let me also remove any other console log. So this console log should get us the action value. Let's save it and we check the output. Now you see that this is the initial value of the action object. Now I'm clicking on banana. You see that it has type purchase and the payload we have here with the selected item. And this data, the obj, the object, the payload, we have to add to the cart. And you already know that the cart is accessible here in this reducer. So the first thing you put is you put the action type. because there will be many actions in the entire application and you will have to put an if condition. At the moment we are dealing with the if condition. There are multiple actions you see in the entire project and you have to deal with all the actions in a reducer. But that is very impractical that you put all the actions inside the reducer, inside one reducer, that is. You don't do that. Well, we have ways to divide the reducer, or we also have a newer approach, that is the Redux toolkit, which we will see at a later stage. But at the moment we are dealing with the basic approaches. So here I am going to say action.type if that type is purchase. Even this identifier which we have used here, we don't write it like this. Either we put it as a constant or the Redux toolkit will help us to write in a better way. But at the moment, as I mentioned, we live with this. Now comes the process of updating the cart. Now let me just write a return statement here. We always have a return statement here, and inside this, let's say I want to update the cart. So we already have the cart available in this scope, at least at the moment. And inside the cart, what I want is whatever we have in the cart, that you keep it as it is. And I just want to add the action.payload, isn't it? That's it. So this should update the cart. But this actually isn't the right way. The reason is, now you are returning the state with only one value, that is the cart. So in that case, what happens that other keys like total or products is overwritten by this new value cart. So this will start giving us the error that products or total is not available. So let's just check this first of all, and then we'll understand in detail. I'll just refresh. I'll click here and you see that the problem starts. It says that map cannot work with the products. The reason is now the entire state object as just the cart, because this was the last value returned, right? So one way is that you just say that products, you want to keep it as it is. So you'll say products I want to keep as it is. Not only products, but even the total. So I'll say total. That also I want to keep it as it is. So whatever the total is, that I want to keep. If you do this, this works fine. Let me refresh and I click here. Now you see that cart has started working. It updated the data. It works fine, but still this isn't the right approach. The reason is you may have multiple data sets in the single state object. We just have three here, right? Products, cart and total. But in larger applications, you may have huge set of data. So ideally what you should do is you should say that whatever is the state that I want to return. This similar pattern we have already seen when we update the object literal with the use state, if you remember it. So here I just update the state and I also update the cart. Now whatever state is there, let me remove the total, though we will be updating the total here later on. But right now I'll just keep this way, right? So now it's going to return the original object. Anyway, in Redux, you do have to take care that you return the original state and then you update the state. So this is basically the immutability of your global object. Though in the newer approach with Redux toolkit, you can write the code in normal way and Redux toolkit will make sure to handle the immutability. But if you do not consider Redux toolkit at the moment or the new features, you should know that this used to be approach where we used to return the original object, that is the copy of it, and then we used to make changes to the global state. So now let me save this and go back to the output again to make sure we have the new application running. Now if I click here, you see that the updation is only happening with the cart and rest are still working fine, though the total is not getting updated, and it's a very simple thing now for you. Let me show you that. You can also give a try and then come back to this video. Alright, so I hope you tried it on your own. Otherwise, let's proceed with total calculation. So here we just say that whatever is the total that we want to add with the action dot payload where we have the price, this we want to add to the total. Now let's move to the output, refresh it and select it. You see the cart and total both are getting updated. We are using hooks here, and the Redux, the global store is implemented completely, but the code which we have written doesn't have the standard, the best practices that we will be looking at as we move ahead. But here till this video, what we have seen is sufficient enough to give you the idea about the entire Redux and the hooks based Redux, that is, and you work with, you create the global state and implement it in your application. Now let's talk about relative questions. The first question is, explain the flow of event handling with Redux. So we have these three components, the purchase, cart and total component. Here we have the global store. This product's data is referred here and the dropdown is filled with this product data. Now the next point is, once this data is filled, let's say on selection of the product, we want to add the data to the cart. This means there is an action, there is an event. Whenever there is an event, you have to write that event inside the reducer function. What I mean to say is, for example, there is a function. Remember, I am writing just a function here where I'm writing the process of adding the data to the cart. This means reducer is a kind of global function which can access the global store. But your components are at different level. They are segregated from this global store and global reducer function. In Redux, whenever there is an event, let's say here you have the add to cart button, and when the user clicks, it should actually dispatch the action to the reducer. Now if you see this dispatch, there is an object literal here in the dispatch method. So whenever there is an action from the component, you dispatch the action type, and also you may have some data. Like in this second syntax, we want to say that I'm supposed to add the data and there is some additional information. Here I'm passing the data which I want to add, for example. That data which you pass with the dispatch is called as payload. You can name it whatever you want to. Here in this example, there is an object literal. Let me show you one more example. Here I say dispatch type is equal to add value :0. That means the payload name I have given is value, and I'm not passing any object literal. I'm just passing a simple numeric value. So this can be a string, a number, an object literal, an array. In short, whatever information you pass with the dispatch is called as payload, and you can name it whatever you want. Again, I just want to summarize that whenever there is an action, whenever there is an event, you actually dispatch the action, and whenever the dispatch method is called on any event, there will always be an object passed to reducer. And the second question is, how do you dispatch events with hooks? Or the same question can be explained the dispatch hook. So this is how you do it. You write const and the object, the dispatch object, and you use the hook. And the useDispatch hook returns a reference to the dispatch function from the Redux store. This is how you write it. The returned dispatch is called with the object where the first parameter is type and the second parameter is optional and is called payload. You use this payload parameter to pass the data to the reducer function.